Turn me up.
And just like that, we're back again. Views from Section 400. Matt, Jack, and Brian along for the ride as always. Uninterrupted sports conversation. I know we've been getting very much into March Madness, and rightfully so. We all are very opinionated on who's going to make the Final Four, who's going to win it all, the whole 9 yards. We've been getting right into it. But we're going to tailor it back to a more just a show that we usually do, how our shows usually run. We're going to cover everything, NFL, MLB, obviously still going to touch on March Madness, but we don't want to leave the actual rest of the sports world behind. We'll get you guys caught back up to speed. I know March Madness is going on, but the rest of the sports world does exist. So welcome everybody aboard. It is Views from Section 400. Like I said, I'm Matt, Jack, and Brian, always along for the ride and some uninterrupted sports conversation. And in this one, we're going to Michael of the Week. We'll end it with the winners and losers of the week, and we'll have the rest of the sports world jumbled in there in between. But Brian and Jack, you know how in these intros, I like to keep it short. We just get it rolling right away. Michael of the Week. That was a pretty long intro, so I'll just let you start it off, Brian. What was your Michael of the Week, man?
Yeah, this one's pretty easy for me. I know you said we're going to touch on all the sports, and we are. But it would not be on brand for me if I didn't talk about the selection committee and their absolutely egregious, surprising, disappointing, nonsense decision to put UVA into the field of 68. Not only were the Cavaliers ranked well outside the top 50 in net ranking, they were ranked well outside the top 100 in the offensive rating. They were horrible. The whole world knew they were horrible. The whole country knew they were horrible. Oklahoma knew they were horrible. Indiana State knew they were horrible. And guess what? They lost by 25 points. They barely scored 40 points in the first four against a Colorado State team that should have not been in the first four, should have been probably a 10 seed, a 9 seed in the tournament. Mountain West are going to have a really good record in this tournament. The committee is stupid. They got lazy and got ready to put VCU into the 11th spot, got lazy. Duquesne won, and they just said, all right, we're going to give Duquesne an 11. Duquesne's net ranking like a 70. New Mexico is a 20, and they're the same seed. Vegas has New Mexico, an 11 seed, favored by 2 points over 6 seed Clemson. The committee is my Michael of the Week. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. It's an abomination, and they all deserve to be fired and sent to Siberia. There's my Michael of the Week.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, dude. The committee definitely botched this tournament this year. They usually do a decent job, I'd say, but this year was terrible. Put on display, we haven't even gotten to the first round yet. Completely puts on display how bad it was when Virginia goes out there, gets blown out. Didn't they have a stretch where they didn't score a basket for like 10 minutes?
It was 10. So this halftime was in between this, but it got to 10:40 Eastern time, and they hadn't scored a bucket since 9:48 Eastern time. They went almost
unacceptable for a March Madness playing game. The 16 seeds are going back and forth battling out till the end. Colorado State 100% deserves it. Virginia didn't even deserve to be there, and it was put on display. So the committee completely got made a fool of. Problem is, who do you point the blame at, right? Who's the committee? They all hide behind the title of the NCAA committee. Someone needs to be held accountable because it's only going to get worse. We're probably going to see some more matchups in this first round where you're like, the committee fully fucked this up.
Yeah, there's multiple matchups where it's 11 seed favored over a 6 seed or a 10 seed favored over a 7 seed. Like there's so much nonsense that is just like, upsets aren't upsets anymore because the committee can't properly seed teams.
Right. Are they trying to do it for dramatic purposes to say it's an upset in their eyes, even though Vegas has the team, the 10 seed favored against a 7? It's stupid, man. But whatever. Jack, what's your Michael of the Week, man? You sticking to March Madness or are you rolling over to a different sport?
Yeah, I'm sticking with March Madness. There's actually a disturbing bracket trend that's going around that I'd love to share with you guys. So in every tournament since 2021, A top 2 seed is lost in the first round to a team with a phallic or sexual name. In 2021, Oral Roberts beat Ohio State. In 2022, St. Peter's beat Kentucky. And in 2023, Fairleigh Dickinson beat Purdue. So that's 3 years in a row. No longer happenstance. It's a pattern. So likely it could happen again this year in 2024. Houston, a number 1 seed, will face Longwood, a 16 seed, and they could fall victim to, this dictum trend again.
It's a shame Moorhead's a 14 and not a 15 because somebody might get 2.
Dude, it's actually hilarious, this tweet. It's a hell of a tweet, man. These are the stats that we want to see. These are the stats we need to see.
That's in the age of analytics. These are the type of analytics we need to be seeing on our television.
Amen.
I mean, it's a trend. This isn't a one-time thing here. This is happening multiple years in a row.
So it's always a 1 or 2?
It's always a 1 or 2 seed. Ohio State was a 2 seed in 2021. Kentucky was a 2 seed in 2022, and last year Purdue was a 1 seed.
Close enough for me. I'm counting Moorhead State this year.
Is St. Peter's phallic enough?
Yeah, the Peacocks.
Yeah. St. Peter's is who beat Kentucky in 2022.
Yeah, so they're back in there.
They could absolutely repeat their destiny.
St. Peter's has all the juju. Everybody knows the run they went on. And Dog Connect pointed at the ringless finger. We all know what that means. You can put them on upset watch. That's safe to say. They got to be on alert because the mixture of the pointing at the ringless finger and the St. Peter's sexual fucking trend that's going on, it's a lot of juju, man.
A lot of juju.
It's pretty nuts stuff. But, yeah, you guys dominate with the March Madness Michaels of the Week. I kept it not March Madness because I was a little shocked when I saw this news break. I'm a huge fan of this guy, but Aaron Donald retiring from professional football. This guy hung up the cleats. I guess it was Monday morning or Sunday night. Either way, it was this week, relevant to this week. Aaron Donald retired. I was shocked when I saw the news. He's in his early 30s. He only played 10 years. First round pick back in 2013, I think. Or 2014. Only played 10 years. 10-year career. 111 total career sacks. So averaged well over 10 sacks a year, which is pretty incredible. Was the defensive rookie of the year. Was a Super Bowl champ. Defensive player of the year 3 times, 10-time Pro Bowler, and an 8-time All-Pro, all parlayed together, got him on the 2010 All-Decade team. So I think it's without a doubt, this guy's a Hall of Famer, but I leave it over to you guys. I mean, is this guy first ballot, no questions asked in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
No questions asked, right?
No questions asked. The most dominant player of the decade, the most dominant defensive player of the decade, and that man is second to none. I mean, it is sad to see him already out of the league, but you got to believe that it's what's best for him. I can't wish him nothing but the more success in his life. He was an absolute pleasure to watch on the field. The craziest thing about all those stats is the pictures that come out of his game of the 2 or 3 or 4 guys blocking him at a single snap. It's just incredible what offenses had to do to try and hold him back. You weren't stopping him, but you could hold him back with maybe 3 or 4 guys. I mean, shout out Aaron Donald, first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt about it.
It was awesome watching him play, like you said, Jack. I think he had a few more good years in him at least. I mean, this guy could have played probably at least another 3 very solid years, in my opinion. Again, like I said, I don't know what's going on. He wanted to hang it up. He got a Hall of Fame career out of 10 years. He only needed 10 years to do it. 10-time Pro Bowler, made the Pro Bowl every year, which I think is, the Pro Bowls, whatever. But All-Pro, that is a very good accolade to have. And do it 8 times in a 10-year career, nuts. was a Super Bowl champion. And again, like I said, the 2010 All-Decade team is another remarkable accomplishment. I know we say first ballot Hall of Fame, done, solidified. Best defensive player of all time?
Best, no.
Maybe.
What, are you biased to Lawrence Taylor?
Well, Aaron Donald didn't play long enough.
Okay. Well, he sure has the accolades to put him up there. I mean, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, averaged over 11 sacks per year over the 10 years, 8X All-Pro. I mean, I'm not saying good, but I think he's in the conversation 100%. And if he's not, and if he isn't the best of all time, who is?
Lawrence Taylor.
And I don't have Lawrence Taylor's stats pulled up right next to me, so I can't go, apples to apples here. And obviously both remarkable players in their respective times. But, I mean, I know Lawrence Taylor was great. But, dude, I mean, Aaron Donald, I mean, if he wasn't the best, I mean, he was damn close.
Look, you want to know what Aaron Donald just did to us? He just created that conversation that we always have about Calvin Johnson and the rest of the all-time wide receivers. Is Calvin Johnson the best wide receiver we've ever seen? I would say yes, but people's main argument against it is he didn't play long enough. He doesn't have the stats that Jerry or Randy had, this and that, which I can understand that argument. But if you go watch those games, Aaron Donald getting quadruple teamed coming off the edge, Calvin Johnson having 2-3 people stuff him at the line, trying to, play him in coverage. These guys are, in my opinion, two of the best to do it at their position, if not the best. And it just started that whole debate now for, is he the best of all time? No, he didn't play long enough.
Ryan sure juicy. Think so.
I mean, he's a great player. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. What's the guy's name? Big ass dude, David Baker. He knocked on his door in 5 years, and they'll be crying together, and he'll get a plaque in the Hall of Fame. But I don't know. He played 10 years? It's not. You can't be the best if he played for 10 years. He wanted to retire after the Super Bowl. He almost played for 7 years, and then McVay convinced him to come back.
So how long do you have to play to be considered the best of all time? What's your criteria?
Long enough to win 2 Super Bowls. Even though Taylor didn't.
If you won a second in 10 years, then that counts?
Well, yeah.
You're nitpicking here. You're like, it's.
I think,
Brian, you're definitely nitpicking here.
Okay. I don't know. 10's not that short. I'm just like, I don't know.
You're acting like you played 5 years.
Yeah, I don't think he's the best. I just think it's too small.
Double digits qualifies you. Double-digit years qualifies you to be in the conversation if the accolades back it up. His accolades sure as hell back it up.
Yeah, he's one of the best players ever. But I just don't think I know there's somebody we're forgetting about that.
And I'm not even saying best player ever. I'm saying best defensive player ever.
Yeah,
no longer Taylor exists.
There's definitely somebody out there that we're just forgetting about that played for longer and was just as good.
When you think best defensive players of all time, you think Lawrence Taylor, you think, I don't know, Ray Lewis, Pat Willis, but Pat Willis had a short. Pat Willis had a short career. Yeah, Deion Sanders, maybe Revis, if you want to put him up there.
Reggie White. There's a lot of guys.
Well, it's an interesting conversation that we can save for a rainy day because that's just the Michael of the Week segment that we do here every week on Views from Section 400. Always sponsored by our Bracketology. It's here. March Madness is here. The tournament starts tomorrow. When you're watching this, it will be going on. So head over to viewsfromsection400.com right now. You can not only check out our Bracketology, but the rest of our website, where website contributor Zach Myers gave out some MLB futures. MLB opening day is here. I know they played the Soul Series, but the real one with all the teams is right around the corner. Myers gave out some spicy MLB futures for the upcoming season, so make sure you go check that out. Only on our website, viewsfromsection400.com. Now, obviously, the elephant in the room, the topic of the week, everything what's going on. It's March Madness. The first 4 games are complete when you're watching this. I know we had a crazy first night Second night seemed to be crazy. I think it's ongoing right now. Montana State had a huge lead, maybe a 15-point lead.
They're in overtime right now. Yeah.
They're in overtime right now. So there
Yeah.
you go. So March is nuts. It's going crazy. But as you're watching this, it will be the first round. And we just want to jump into what are your guys' plans, or what are our plans at least? Let us know in the comments if you're doing anything fun. I'll be having a McNeese State watch party because you know how huge I am on them. Tomorrow night or tonight when you're watching this, my life relies on the McNeese State Cowboys. Everything I've ever known about college basketball and sports and just everything comes down to 725 in Salt Lake City. And that's the McNeese State Cowboys taking on Gonzaga, Mark Few. This, that, and the third. It's so important to me. That's why I already got the McNeese State flag flying in the apartment. It's the Bayou Bandits, man. America loves an underdog, and they love an American gangster. And that's sure as hell what those Bayou Bandits are down there in Louisiana. But what do you guys do? What are you guys up to? Auburn even play tomorrow?
They play Friday. I'll be in the car tomorrow all day driving down to Mobile for friend of the pod, Ben's wedding. So thanks for that, Ben. But yeah, it'll be a long drive. I'll get home just in time to see some buckyball, see Kansas get upset, our future Kansas, by Samford. Don't have Samford go to my Final Four. I'm not as confident as I am, or as Matt is, with McNeese, but I do think Samford pulled off that upset in the first round. So I will be able to watch that on the television. But thank God for YouTube TV and their app.
Yeah, now I'm gonna be with Brian down in Mobile, Alabama for Ben's wedding. Ben, thank you again for your support, friend of the pod. Looking forward to that. Auburn's gonna be playing at, I believe, 3:30 local time in Mobile, maybe 3:15. So yeah, 3:15 on Friday. So we're gonna be doing something, getting ready, watching that. If I'm at some sort of rehearsal dinner sort of thing, I will have it pulled up on YouTube TV. Shout out YouTube TV. Let's get a sponsorship. Looking forward to that Auburn game. Looking forward to all this March Madness. It's finally freaking here, and I could not be more excited.
It's going to be electric, man. So without further ado, let's get into some first round bets. I got 4 that I think are absolute locks, wagons, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, McNeese. Everything I've ever known lies on McNeese State tomorrow night. That is just without a doubt. I shouldn't even have to bring it up. You know how I feel about this team. Then I got Colorado State. I think they're a lock as well to get through their first round matchup, solely because they're red hot and they looked unstoppable last night. And they're a good team. The committee severely not only undervalued Colorado State, undervalued the entirety of the Mountain West. Mm-hmm. So I think that's something you got to watch out for. So give me Colorado State. I do love Dayton. I think a lot of people are on I don't even remember who they play. Who are they playing?
Another Mountain West team. So you got to go against yourself.
Nevada.
Yeah, but Nevada, with Nevada, they were good, but they didn't play anybody that was amazing. And the top teams in the Mountain West, they didn't win. They might have won like here and there, but I'm not sold on Nevada. They have that one good guy from Oregon State who went on that run, who's experienced. Other than that, I just don't think they're deep enough to surmount. I think Dayton is just the better roster team. But again, we can agree to disagree on that. And then the final one, I'm just going with who I know is a March legend, and that's Tom Izzo and the Michigan State Spartans. They were an do not touch play all year. And I'm finally opening it up because now is when you bet on Tom Izzo. Now is when you bet on the Spartans. And now is when you bet on Michigan State. It's when they're in the bracket. It's when they're in March Madness. They will win their 8-9 matchup.
Yeah, I mean, they say January, February is over for a reason. And I'm not sold on Mississippi State as a full roster. They have 2 guys, really. And you could say the same thing about Michigan State, but yeah. Tom Izzo.
Yeah, Michigan State has the better player, though.
Yeah, they do. Tyson Walker's the best player in that game. I guess I'll call it 4. four bets I like. So the first one, I'm going back to the Mountain West well. I mentioned it earlier, alluded to it earlier. New Mexico -2 against Clemson. Clemson's reeling. New Mexico just won the Mountain West. They should not be an 11 seed. They should be an 8 seed at the lowest. So yeah, take them. I know the public's high on them, but New Mexico's that good. Sanford +7.5. Kevin McCullough out for the rest of the year for Kansas. Sanford plays buckyball. They're going to do constant substitutions. Kansas is very not deep right now. They have nobody left. They're going to call it a season. Without McCullough, they're not going anywhere. So 7.5 points is too many for Sanford. Gonzaga is going to go over their team total of 78.5. McNeese still might win. I'm not discrediting that, but McNeese relied heavily in the regular season on letting 3-point shooters miss threes. Gonzaga is not going to miss those threes. So Gonzaga is going to get over 78.5 points. And then the last one, Auburn -12.5. Every win Auburn has had this season has been by double digits, except one. They're not losing to Yale. It's going to be by double digits. 12.5 is fine.
Ryan, I'm right there with you. Auburn on the spread. That's my call it whale, call it big play, whatever you want to do. But that's the money play right there. Auburn is winning by double digits. Have no worries about that. I know I told everybody that Baylor was going to lose to Colgate.
Oh,
I have some new information that I'm thinking that might not be the best play anymore. So I will retract my statement. I will tell you to bet on the Baylor Bears, but it stops there because New Mexico's beating Clemson, also a round one game, and New Mexico will beat Baylor in round two. So take what you want out of that. You want to bet the Lobos to the Sweet 16? Go for it right here and right now. You might get some good value on that.
There you have it. Some favorite first round bets. Obviously, the first and second round to then the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight and so on is split up weekend to weekend. So those are the first round bets. Obviously, Saturday, right before the second round starts, I'll be kicking off the IG Live. We'll talk first round. We'll get into second round bets. Brian and Jack will probably be deathly hungover from the wedding. I'll be locked in, giving you bracketology, giving you insight, and giving you best bets to get you prepared for a loaded second round weekend of March Madness. So stay tuned for that. Again, Saturday morning, usually around 10, 11 o'clock on the East Coast. We'll get dialed into some bets, best bets, whatever you want to do. Floor's your guys, right? Hop in there, ask me questions. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. It's not a structured show. Get in there, ask questions, whatever you want. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Use me as a resource to pad your wallets in this time of the March Madness craziness. But yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on March Madness itself, as important as it is. But let's get caught up on what's going on in the NBA. We'll jump over to our NBA insider at Views from Section 400, Brian Hauk. What do you got, man? What are the people missing? I know our Thunder are in first place now.
Yeah, the Thunder are still good. Anthony Edwards dislocated a finger from dunking on John Collins. So that happened.
That was a nasty dunk.
It was a pretty nasty dunk. And then John Collins had a little face palm after because he knew he just got put on a poster and it would be all over socials, and it was. And then Isaiah Thomas got signed by the Suns. So he's back.
What?
On a 10-day contract.
He playing? Has he played a game yet?
No, he just got signed. I mean, I guess maybe when they're listening to this, he's played, but he's back in the NBA.
Well, welcome back.
Yeah, he has one of those greatest March Madness shots ever. I think it was a Pac-12 tournament, actually. But he hit that game-winning step back, and Gus Johnson went crazy.
Hold on, I'll trivia myself. What school did he go to? I have no idea.
He got the conference.
Well, you just said Pac-12.
It's a friend of the, well, I don't know if I can call him a friend of the program anymore.
Pac-12, not Arizona. Was it Arizona?
No.
UCLA?
Nope.
USC?
No, if you want me to tell you.
Arizona State?
No.
All right.
Oregon.
Our Huskies.
Washington? Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right, well, good stuff there. A little trivia myself. I do not. I mean, he was what, early or late 2000s he was there?
Yeah, it must have been like Oh
Or
six. He was. I think he was there around the same time as like Joakim Noah and Al Horford at Florida, right?
what?
They must have all been around there. And Adam Morrison at Gonzaga. I think it was like that era. But yeah,
Big goofy white guys at Gonzaga.
at this point in the NBA season, we're kind of just waiting. The play-ins, I believe, the week after the Masters. So yeah, it's college basketball season, and then
It's
we'll
college
get to the
basketball season. Hopefully the Sixers can get to the playoffs. They just need to literally limp themselves into the playoffs, get Embiid back, and they'll be fine.
yeah.
So just some find a way to just stay somewhat afloat. I think they should be able to do it. I don't care what seed they are. Just get in. You'll be fine. Embiid comes back. Different story. Probably not winning it all, though. So no reason to get fired up for that. Jack, unless you have anything crazy on the NBA, I want to keep it moving here. Jump into a little bit of MLB opening day out in Korea.
Kyrie Irving's the best point guard outside of Steph Curry in the shooting. Best point guard of all time.
Interesting.
I mean, for the sake of time, we'll just keep going, but we'll have to revisit that at some point.
That will need to be revisited. But for the sake of time, we're not going to dive into that claim. But and I love Kyrie, but that's a nuts claim.
Absolutely, that's almost as insane as Drew Brees over Tom Brady.
We're not talking
over
about
Tom
it.
Brady.
We're not talking about it. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments below. Kyrie Irving, best of all time. Make sure you associate Jack's name next to that. I sure as hell didn't say it.
Yeah, that is all Jack.
Moving on. MLB opening day in Korea. I had Tyler Glasnow 10 strikeouts. I think he had 3. Bet Ohtani to hit a home run. Smoked a foul ball. Would have been gone if it was fair. It just went foul. Hit the piss missile 300 miles an hour. I don't think he got his home run, but I think he had a stolen base. So he gave the Korean fans something to cheer about. I think he had a base knock too. So yeah, Ohtani, he's not from Korea, but the Asian community obviously in full support there. A lot of Ohtani jerseys on out there. He had the biggest roar. Him and Hassan Kim had obviously by far the biggest roars from the crowd as they came out. I was up at 6:06 a.m. I watched first pitch just because why not? It's baseball season. Probably not going to do it, I guess, today, 3 hours ago when it started. But it was the start of the season. I had to get up and just check it out. That was my MLB opening day. Did any of you guys wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to watch it?
Yeah, great job, Rob Manfred, scheduling this for 3 a.m. for the 2 fan bases of these teams playing. You're so good at your job, man. But the one thing I had on Major League Baseball, so this came out minutes before we started recording. We talked about the Jacksonville Jaguars employee embezzling a shit ton of money to gamble with. Shohei Ohtani's interpreter allegedly was in a $4.5 million hole with his bookie, and Ohtani transferred the bookie $4.5 million. So the Dodgers have fired his interpreter, and he's been sent home from Korea.
That is nuts.
He must have bet on the UVA team total last night. That was the last draw.
He hammered it.
What is up with people and gambling addictions? Come on, people, be responsible.
There's a conspiracy going around right now that it was actually Ohtani that was gambling, and the interpreter's just the fall guy.
I could see that as well.
Definitely could see that.
But it's wild. Like his interpreter was like a big, I won't say big deal, but he was getting like star status just from always being with the biggest player in baseball, and people knew who he was, and now he's in the midst of this.
Yeah, well, you know what? Honestly, if you're Shohei Ohtani and you have insider information like that, you shouldn't be down $4.5 million. What is wrong with this guy? What did he bet on? Was it like the Asian ping pong or something?
It must have been like the ping pong at 2 a.m. Because he could easily just have faded the Angels every year and made some good money.
Could have made a lot of money.
Yeah, so I don't know what he was. Maybe he was betting on the Angels. Maybe that's what fucked him up.
Probably.
Either way, wild. But we'll dial more MLB up. Obviously, go check out the website. There's some futures out there, early futures. One that I agree on, I'll give you a little sneak peek. AL East champions, Baltimore Orioles. They just put up 100-plus wins, and they got better this offseason. Adding Corbin Burns, development of more prospects. We'll see Jackson Holiday come up this year, who is going to be a stud. Baltimore Orioles to win the AL East. I like that bet a lot. But yeah, we'll keep dialing that up. MLB starts next week. We'll have some more headlines. Obviously, if you guys saw when we first started the pod of how huge of a Phillies fan I am, you remember that crazy run and how fired up I was? Well, it's coming back. So don't worry. We're going to unleash that real soon. But it is March Madness, so I don't want to dive into it too much. But trust me, the crazy Philly fan will be back, and that's for sure.
The early birds that were listening to us from the beginning know how insufferable you became during that run, and they got to see the full-fledged Matt Philly fan in that run. So I'm not excited for myself to see it again, but I'm excited for the people to see it again.
You're excited for it to come back for the people, right? I mean, it's an electric time of the year, man. I can't wait. Got the April ballpark pass. We'll be at all the April games. It's an electric time. But yeah, let's move it on. We'll go NFL, and we'll end it with some winners and losers here. What did you guys see in the NFL this week, if anything at all? Brian, I know you always got something for me.
Yeah, so the Raiders must have liked what they saw from Alexander Madison in the celebrity flag football game during Super Bowl week because they just signed him. So good for Alexander Madison.
Good for him. He just got signed. So is Caleb Williams going to the Bears?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The Bears traded.
Keenan Allen was at the pro day today or yesterday.
Yeah, it's like confirmed.
In full Bears gear, and he was, broing it up with Caleb Williams. So I think that's all confirmed, especially with the Steelers getting Justin Fields. Oh, by the way, who might be a backup since they have Russell Wilson.
Dude, he might go insane. He went from dealing with Chicago's franchise to now you have to hear Russell Wilson talking his ear every day. Like, that guy might snap. I feel really bad for Justin Fields.
The thing with the Steelers, though, is the Steelers seem to be very well run.
I mean, Tomlin doesn't get enough credit for keeping the locker room of Big Ben, Le'Veon, and AB together. That's what
I'm saying, dude. He's kept teams completely under control. Unlike teams anywhere else, like those three guys you mentioned on another team would have been a nuclear bomb. We saw AB alone what he did in Oakland. Imagine those three guys looped in on a different team.
Tampa Bay, he quit mid-game and started running around like a lunatic.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Speaking, actually, AB broke the Russell Wilson news and didn't get credit for it. CT ESPN tweeted the Steelers are getting ready to sign.
Ridiculous hashtag, by the way. Every time I see it, I crack up.
And then Adam Schefter wouldn't give him credit, so he got him a crapper.
Yeah, I mean, dude, AB's clearly off the deep end. That guy can say whatever he wants. Nobody even cares anymore because he just says outrageous shit all the time.
It's so funny.
He just it's just AB being a nut. Kind of can say whatever he wants and no one cares.
I guess
honestly, you would have thought that Kanye West and AB came out of the same place because the way that they talk is just so crazy.
Yeah, AB
you would have thought that Kanye West played wide receiver in the NFL for 7 years.
Yeah, got popped by Vontaze Burfict too. Yeah, AB had a rap career for like 6 months. I'm surprised they never collabed.
And he was good.
I never listened, but
what was that like? Put that shit on.
Oh yeah.
That shit on. That was AB's song, I think.
Yeah, I do remember that now.
That was funny, but yeah, Brian, your favorite running back in the NFL, Donta Foreman, signed with the Browns.
He did get me some good fantasy points back in the day.
I know you're a huge Donta Foreman fan.
He's a great back. He gets the job done. He reminds me of Michael Bush, like from back in the day. He's just a good backup that when he gets called on, he'll give you some fantasy points.
Right. He gets called on, it'll be like 28 carries, 140 yards, and 2 TDs. It's like, why does this guy not start?
Because the next week he'll have like 2 yards a carry, but he'll still get 25 carries and a touchdown. But the other thing I had on the NFL, so my Giants have a quarterback competition. Daniel Jones is locked in a competition with Drew Lock. So that's fun. I'm having a great time over here. Also, Saquon's little daughter said, I guess we can win now after she was told that he's going to the Eagles. So it's a great
Yeah, I
time
saw
to
I
be.
did see that.
they were walking, and she was like, "Oh, does that mean we'll win now?" We don't even need Saquon to throw the fades.
Great time to be a Giants fan.
Well, Brian, I might be a little bit happier than you. My Jags, we got the franchise tag on Josh Allen, shirred him up, and then we went and signed Eric Armstead from the Niners. First round pick back in 2015. Man has been a havoc in the interior of the line ever since he's been in the league. I couldn't be more happy. With Trayvon Walker coming into his third year, Aiden Hutchinson at the number 2 spot, Trayvon Walker at the number 1 spot. The first 2 years, I've been a little disappointed because obviously Hutchinson looks better, but this is supposed to be the time, year 3, when that script flips. We've needed Trayvon Walker to develop a little bit more. Him, Armstead, Josh Allen on that defensive front. The Jags are going to wreak havoc on opposing quarterbacks this year. I'm super excited for it. Big news down in Duval.
Yeah, but how do they score points when you got Mac Jones starting by week 5?
Stop that. Mac Jones will not be starting. He's an insurance policy. He's our Nick Foles.
Is Trevor Lawrence an elite quarterback?
He has worse numbers than
Not
Daniel
yet.
Jones.
No, he's not. Shut
His
your
career
mouth.
numbers are worse than Daniel Jones's.
Daniel Jones has not had Urban Meyer as his head coach.
There's no way that's true.
If you look at their career numbers next to each other, they're basically the same, and Daniel Jones has a playoff one.
So does Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence has
against
a
the
playoff one.
yeah. If you want to talk about Urban Meyer, I'll give you Chargers.
I don't know.
Chargers
That
doesn't
seems
count.
like there's just no way that's true, but I'd have to
What
look
do you
at the
mean?
stats.
The
for
Chargers.
I'll
Chargers
find the
game
picture
doesn't
for you.
count?
No, it's the Chargers.
We
So
had to
it's-
come back down 28-0.
Yeah,
that doesn't
because it's
count?
the Chargers.
Go no. I won't let you do this right now to Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville. Go back and watch that game that we came back and beat the Chargers. That playoff game. The way that Trevor played in that second half, the throws that he made, I can't let you do this, Brian. No.
Okay.
Here's a follow-up question. In that next round, who did the Jags play and who'd they lose to?
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
And what was the final score?
I'm going to have to double check that for you, but it was a competitive game.
Because the Giants in the next round lost to the Eagles 38-7.
They did.
I can tell
All
you.
right,
it was
Matt, you want to hear these head-to-head stats?
I mean, I just don't believe it, man.
Okay, so Daniel Jones has played.
Daniel Jones over fucking Trevor Lawrence.
Daniel Jones has played in 60
ridiculous.
career games. Trevor Lawrence has played in 50. Their completion percentage, Daniel Jones is 64.3%. Trevor Lawrence is 63.8%. Pass yards a game, Trevor Lawrence has him beat 235.4 to 208.5. But pass yards per attempt, Trevor Lawrence is 6.7, Daniel Jones is 6.6. Interceptions.
It doesn't fucking mean anything.
What the fuck is that? Pass per attempt?
Interceptions.
Really?
Interceptions.
Really?
And notice how I said Daniel Jones has played 10 more career games. And we always joke about Daniel Jones turning the ball over. Interceptions. Daniel Jones 40, Trevor Lawrence 39. Passer rating. Daniel Jones 85.2, Trevor Lawrence 85. Rush yards. Daniel Jones 1914, Trevor Lawrence 964. Rush TDs. Daniel Jones has 2 more.
Bro, you really want to lift the fucking the rushing stats? I mean, that's literally the only thing that Daniel Jones is good for. We're not doing this right now.
He also has.
What are the pass yards per game? What are the touchdowns? What are the interceptions? These are like, dude, pass yards for like.
Okay, career touchdowns. Career touchdowns. If you want to go,
stat, you're taking it down.
Daniel Jones has 62 passing touchdowns in his career. Trevor Lawrence has 58. Daniel Jones has 13 rushing touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence has 11.
No, wait,
played
hold
10
on. Stop.
10
You're
more
just
games.
firing off stats. Let's go one
He's
by one.
played 10 more games than him. He's got 4 more touchdowns in 10 more games.
Yeah.
Also only 1 more interception.
And what?
Only 1 more interception in 10 more games. Trevor Lawrence only has 1 less interception.
Okay, then that's one for Daniel Jones. There you go. He's thrown less interceptions.
He also has a better completion percentage and a better passer rating.
Was that? Tell me if I'm wrong, but that completion percentage was by 0.2.
0.5.
You're a slut, Brian.
The passer rating is
You're a
at 0.2.
slut.
I'm still saying they're very similar. And like when you think of the two, people are going to say Trevor Lawrence is a top 10 quarterback and Daniel Jones is the worst thing ever. They're very similar statistically.
Last thing I'm going to say about that
statistically.
is Trevor Lawrence played 16 of those games with Urban Meyer. Well, I guess not all 16 with Urban Meyer as his head coach because Urban Meyer couldn't make it past 8 or 9 games. But his first season, and everybody knows that you are not a casual football fan, Brian. I know you're not. Don't let people believe you are. Everybody knows that first year in Jacksonville for Trevor Lawrence was a wash. We don't even talk about it. He essentially didn't have a rookie year until year 2.
I mean, Daniel Jones had Joe Judge. Not that he was as bad as Urban Meyer, but he was still pretty horrible.
I was going to say, on Brian's defense, that Daniel Jones doesn't have these whirlwind coaches coaching him up either.
Yeah, well, I guess
let's not act like Urban Meyer isn't in the conversation for the worst head coaching job of all time.
Yeah, Joe Judge is up there.
Joe Judge in
terms of on-field performances, I'm not talking about like off the field, like his finger banging like that random girl in the bar. Like I'm talking about on the field.
7-8 games.
Or when he kicked the ball
half the season.
That's nuts.
Joe Judge shouldn't have been there for longer than a half season.
Oh my God. He couldn't do half the season. That's how bad he was. They said we literally cannot keep you around the building anymore.
Listen, my only point is people want to call Trevor Lawrence like a top 10 quarterback, and they want to say Daniel Jones is the worst quarterback in the league. When you look at the statistics, it's a little bit closer than what that gap would say.
If that's the point you're trying to make, fair enough.
All right, thank you.
All I ask, so if you want to go back, all I ask is if Trevor Lawrence was an elite quarterback, and Brian just immediately.
That's why I'm saying he's not, because he's close enough to Daniel Jones where I can't call him an elite quarterback.
Bring up Daniel Jones. I asked a genuine question. I fucking hate having to say genuine. I asked a question, and it turned into this Daniel Jones versus Trevor Lawrence debate, which is wild.
The NFL season never stops. We haven't
talked about football in a while. The blood just got going. It got going.
Okay, so who's better, Jalen Hurts or Trevor Lawrence?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Who's better, Jalen Hurts or Daniel Jones?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
But then it's close on Trevor Lawrence and Daniel Jones.
Yes.
It's
statistically speaking, yes.
It's closer than it should be.
I refuse to believe that.
But you will not.
That's not right.
I don't even care about the stats. That's it.
Yeah, no.
Don't lie to me.
Brian, I'm not hearing it.
10 times.
Brian, I'm not hearing it.
My eyes tell me to take Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, you want to know another fun stat, Brian? Games played. All these injuries that Daniel Jones seems to have every fucking week. Dude's a bitch. I shouldn't say that. He's bitch made. So
more games than Trevor Lawrence.
And running down the field and having a wide open touchdown and tripping and falling on the 20-yard line. That was ridiculous.
More games, but more games potentially played, dude. Like, stop nitpicking your stats. You look like a fool.
That's a classic Brian move. Is pick out stats that fit his agenda and fit the point he's trying to. I mean, that's all sports journalist guys do that, but Brian clearly.
I mean, if you want to talk about nitpicking stats, you are just completely ignoring Iowa State's inability to. Yeah, I'm crossing sports here. Iowa State's inability to score, but you're writing off Auburn because they can't score when Auburn's offensive efficiency is 35 points better than Iowa State's. So that's nitpicking stats.
Because Iowa State plays in a better conference. Done. Sold.
It's the SEC and the Big 12 are pretty damn close.
No.
The Big 12 has one more bid than the SEC this year?
Half of those teams in the Big 12 are frauds.
That could win it all than there are in the SEC that could win it all.
Yeah, because Auburn's the only team in the SEC that could win it all.
Yeah, like I don't think Kentucky can. I don't think Bama can. I don't think, and Auburn's good. I don't think that they're capable of winning it all.
I mean, Tennessee's got a pretty.
I guess
I don't.
Tennessee could, but Rick Barnes in March.
Tennessee's fraudulent, man.
I
They
forgot
got a
about
decent
Tennessee.
draw though.
In the Big 12 though, it's like it's literally
Houston can
Houston.
win it all. Iowa State can win it all.
That's it.
Baylor.
Baylor can't win it all.
No. Baylor frauds, losing in the 32.
All right, I don't have a full list of their.
Yeah, it's like the same thing then. You could
Well,
say you could.
I don't have the full list. I'd have to look at the list.
Well, if you can't think it off the top of your head, they probably can't win it all. Because you already got the 3 seed Baylor, and there's no other Big 12 teams ranked ahead
Tired
of.
right now that I can't think. Anyway,
What, you like Texas Tech in the 6?
no.
Yes, DJ Burns, they might lose to his big ass in the first round.
But maybe I got Texas A&M. No, I'm just kidding. Let's roll on to the winners and losers, dude, because I'm exhausted.
All right. Well, coming in, just talked about some NFL. Was hoping nobody brought this one up because it is my winner of the week. Mike Williams. Congratulations to Mike Williams. Signs with the New York Jets. Gets to go catch football passes from Aaron Rodgers. Definitely a little bit of an upgrade from Justin Herbert just because of the lackluster. It's not even Justin Herbert's fault, man. It's the Chargers' fault, but he's getting the hell out of LA, going to New York, which, not much of a better franchise by any means, but you're going to have Aaron Rodgers. If you guys saw his signing video, there was a fan, a Jets super fan, that brought him a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese from, a local bagel spot from Morristown, New Jersey. Shout out Morristown, right near my hometown. And he took a bite of it, like after signing the contract or whatever. He goes, "Damn, like this is what made me sign the contract. Like this, I need more of this." So shout out Mike Williams, big Taylor ham, egg, and cheese guy. Happy to have him for the New York Jets. Hope that they can do something. I have a lot of friends that are Jets fans, and they've just been such a tough spot for so long. I really hope that they can turn it around.
Yeah, I mean,
let's talk about that for a second, because I honestly think he'd be in a better situation if he stayed on the Chargers, because Brandon Staley, head coach, was a defensive guy. Now he's going to another head coach that's a defensive guy. Harbaugh could have been an upgrade over him. The players around him weren't the issue in LA. Like Herbert, great. I know Keenan Allen's gone, but like that was a nice compliment player. Like the players and talent wasn't really the issue. It was the coaching was horrible. But now they have all new coaching, and he's departing to a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, who we haven't seen play football in 2 years, and could potentially again have Zach Wilson throwing him the ball by week 3 if Rodgers can't stay healthy.
or if RFK wins the general election, Rodgers is going to be in the White House.
For that. No, I already said, that's a colon guarantee, 0% chance.
Matt, the thing is, there are definitely some red flags with the Jets, but if we're looking at the Chargers, man, that place is a dumpster fire. They're bringing in Harbaugh, new coaching and everything, but you said it, Keenan Allen's out of the room. Who is Justin Herbert throwing the ball to? Right now, it's Quentin Johnson. Mike Williams would obviously be the number one guy, but Mike Williams hasn't been the number one guy yet in his career. I don't really mind him for tucking tail and going to receive behind Garrett Wilson, the rookie of the year 2 years ago. So I definitely think that there's a lot more to look forward to between Rodgers. All the guys say Rodgers throws a pretty ball, and that's not to say Herbert doesn't, but everyone always says Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers. So gets the upgraded quarterback, probably gets an upgrade it definitely gets a wide receiver room upgrade, but just overall probably a better team. You do have to go to New York instead of California, but that's about it.
Well, Harbaugh's bringing in his own guys. He's going to run the ball 50 times a game, and they're going to throw it like 3. So that's why he wanted to leave. I think it's as simple as that.
Did the Chargers draft Blake Corum?
Maybe.
What do they have now? Gus Edwards?
in like a fifth or a sixth, like depending on how late they can get them. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, it's Harbaugh,
They don't
man.
have Austin Eckler, and Harbaugh coached them. I think it makes perfect sense for them to
Yeah,
try a
yeah.
guy like that.
To Brian's point, they signed Gus Edwards to be the primary back, but he's never been a workhorse in Baltimore. He was always splitting carries
They'll
when he was
draft
healthy.
They'll draft somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah, they'll draft someone. Definitely.
maybe
All
Dylan
right,
Johnson.
what do you got, Jack, for your loser of the week? And then we'll jump to Brian's winner and loser.
Yeah, so my loser of the week also got touched on a little bit during Brian's Michael rant with how bad the committee has been. But my loser of the week is the three of us and anybody else who took the time to watch that 14-point first half by UVA.
Yep.
They made 5 baskets, 4 points on 3 free throws, and 14 total points in the first 20 minutes of basketball. That's not even a point per minute. I mean, we had all said it. UVA has no business being in this tournament. They still they made it in. We had to watch that game because we're going to watch that game, be able to give you our analysis on it. And even if it's some crap like this, we're still doing it for you. So we're the losers of the of the week for having to watch that performance. It's only going to get better from here, though. So let's keep the energy up.
Yeah, UVA in that game looked like the Monstars came in and stole the talents of a WNBA team, and then that was the WNBA team after they lost their talents. That was so gross. I've never seen anything like that in my life, especially on that big of a stage.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And, just to touch on the other game, because no one else did, Wagner took care of business against Howard, won by 3 points. So it did get really close at the end. Howard had a chance to tie it up. But if you watch that game start to finish, Wagner was kind of dominating most of the game. And it wasn't until late that it got close and actually interesting. So neither of those 2 first games were really all that impressive to me. Maybe you guys, found that thrill at the end to be well worth it, but definitely looking forward to the future games.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I gave out the Wagner team total on our Twitter, and or not the Wagner, the Howard team total on our Twitter, and it came down to the wire because Howard shot, I think, 27% from three when they were the 20th best 3-point shooting team in the country before that game. But it still hit, so that's all right. I guess I'll go to my winner. Jack kind of mentioned him earlier, the second best point guard of all time, according to you. But my winner is the Dallas Mavericks. So it is Ramadan, or Ramadan just ended. But the Mavericks were flying in a private chef to their games every night to cook vegan food for Kyrie Irving after the sun went down, so he could eat after his fasting during Ramadan, which apparently had never been done for him before in his NBA career. So shout out to Mark Cuban and the Dallas Mavericks because it's a pretty cool thing to do. And if that's never been done for you, I could see why he gets so mad at the franchises he's been a part of. Because these NBA franchises have the money to do that.
Yeah, hell yeah, they do. That's a testament to Mark Cuban, man. I feel like everybody who sees that man and just everything that he's involved in, I feel like everybody loves Mark Cuban, but that's just another thing to pad to the stat book, man. Absolutely class act kind of guy.
Yeah, and you have to take care of your own, especially when the Mavericks are playing well. So keep Kyrie happy and then see what you can do. And then my loser, I also mentioned this earlier. It's our future, our Kansas Jayhawks future. Probably our least thought out future, I would think.
Well,
But
least thought out and probably the worst one we've ever given out. But all the other ones have been kind of heaters.
yeah, Washington got to the end. The Thunder are in first place right now. And then, yeah, Kansas just kind of failed us. But, yeah,
It was
McCoy.
not thought out well either, too. I think that's a great point is we could have done a little bit of a better job. And who knows, maybe we could drop a little special collaborative winner of it all. We probably all won't be able to agree on one.
I think the big issue with college basketball is we're so contentious about it that we're never going to be able to come up with something.
Right. Because you guys lean Auburn. I lean not Auburn. A head spot.
Yeah. It's like even the last thing we just talked about, like the SEC / Big 12 thing. Like, I don't know, we just don't agree on a lot of stuff there. But
so it's tough to give out the future.
It's tough to give it a future, but yeah, I fully fully endorse anybody that wants to either bet on Samford or take them in the first round. Buckyball is going to take down Kansas. So that's our loser for my loser of the week.
All right. I will jump into it. I always got the different kind of winners and losers, but winner of the week, man, I think it's a pretty good one. Scotty Scheffler winning the Players. And not only did he win the Players, he went back-to-back. It's a $25 million purse tournament, the Players Championship. Scotty went back-to-back. He's the best golfer in the world. If there's somebody I want to be, it's Scotty Scheffler. Guy's lights out, plays unbelievable golf. I don't know if he has a girlfriend or a wife, but probably could pull any girl in the world just because he's got so much swag. And yeah, winner of the week, Scotty Scheffler. Like I said, $25 million purse for winning the Players Championship. He probably got 8 to 10 million of that, if I had to guess. Not sure how the payout structure works because there is a lot of payouts that happen. But yeah, I want to say he's the only player who's ever went back to back for the Players Championship, which is a very big tournament. Obviously, $25 million purse, huge. I don't even think the Masters is that big. So that just shows you how big of a purse that is. But yeah, winner of the week, Scotty Scheffler, back-to-back, the Players Champion. Awesome tournament by him. He went on a huge run in round 4, made up like 8 strokes to take the lead and hold on to it.
Yeah, even when that dude plays bad, he's always like finishes in the top 10. It's actually absurd.
He's just such a wagon, dude. He's so electric. All he has to do is clean up his putting, and he truly is unstoppable.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like he can be 90 years old and probably still go out golfing with his buddies and just be better than everyone.
Just be better.
It's just like a great skill to have.
And I'm pretty sure Scotty, Clayton Kershaw, and Stafford all went to the same high school, like at the same time, or just the same high school, maybe at the same time.
I know that Kershaw,
Scotty Scheffler, and Matt Stafford, all same high school down there in Texas.
That's
Yeah, there must be something in the water down there.
It's pretty nuts, dude. That high school produced that.
Hell yeah.
Got the Plano PEDs.
Yeah. Kershaw. Is Kershaw a Hall of Fame pitcher?
Yeah.
Is Matt Stafford a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Yeah.
Probably.
Scotty Scheffler, Hall of Fame golfer. I don't even know if that exists. But they probably have some kind of thing that puts you into an elite club.
Yeah, I think you have to get like your own drink or own beer. Or your
Either way, 3 unbelievable athletes, all at one point at the top of their sport in their respective positions. Obviously, golf solo, but you know what I mean. Nuts that those 3 guys came out of one high school. Loser of the week is going to be. There's multiple here, so I would say loser of the week, Cam Sutton. Have you seen that shit going on? Domestic so starting cornerback for the Detroit Lions, started every game last year. Domestic battery. I don't know who he beat up or said battery on a girl, probably his girlfriend. Issued a search warrant 2 weeks ago. They went to try and arrest the guy. Haven't been able to find him. I just thought it was funny because the report said Cam Sutton wanted by police for domestic battery. And it said police can't find him. They have no idea where he is. This guy's the starting quarterback for the Lions. Police can't find him for 2 weeks. Is he coming back to the league? Like, is he going to play next year? What's going to happen to this guy? Literally says police can't find him.
I've said it once. I've said it before. He's probably hiding with Trey Mason in his grandma's basement.
You beat it. I just do, Brian. I knew you would appreciate it because the headline literally was like, police can't find him.
Somehow these professional athletes with all this fame just can magically disappear. It doesn't make any sense.
Bro, like how can he not find this guy? Started every single game for the Lions last year.
Just gone.
Which was like the season ended less than 2 months ago.
That's crazy. It's absolutely absurd that you can just lose. It's a felony. You lose a guy that you're searching for felony charges is unbelievable.
Guy, he's like definitely hiding.
I'm more
You
concerned. Does this
understand
guy
that,
just
right?
like show up at
Yeah, but you got to find him.
But does this guy just show up to training camp like nothing ever happened?
Yeah, he also has a
No.
job to report to.
August,
Bro,
he
he's
just comes
done.
strolling in like nothing happened.
done.
Because I want to say it happened in Florida. So does he just roll up and hey, I'm wanted in Florida, but I'm good in Michigan.
Yeah, I just can't go to the Dolphins game, but
I just can't go when we play the Bucks and the Dolphins or the Jags.
Oh my God, no, dude, he's done. Trey Mason
Yeah,
never
he's
played another
definitely done.
snap.
But that's nuts, man. Less than 2 months ago, he started every single game.
that is
Now he's on the
crazy.
run. Felony warrants, domestic battery. Police can't find him.
I mean, Trevor Bauer just signed with the Diablos Rojos, and he pled not guilty. So it just shows you no one's going to touch these guys after anything like that. Although
Oh,
the NFL is kind of the NFL doesn't give a fuck, which is
they got to find him first before they can.
they do have to find him.
Because he's nowhere to be found right now, dude.
Check Trey Mason's grandmother's basement. I'm telling you.
That'd be a good place to start.
They're not gonna find him.
He's gone. South
He's
Mexico.
But yeah, either way, action-packed episode. I'd say so, boys. It's always Views from Section 400. I'm Matt, Jack, and Brian. Always come along for the ride in the uninterrupted sports conversation. Ad-free, by the way. You don't have to deal with bullshit. Uninterrupted the whole way through. Views from Section 400. March Madness is kicking off. I'm fired up. McNeese State Cowboys. Yeah, wagon. The little wagon that could. The little Cinderella that could. The Bayou Bandits. That's all you need to know. McNeese. That's all I got. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Gonzaga by 25.
DJ Savage.
Welcome to Duval, Eric.
Ryan's a dickhead.